Today is February 11th, and the Yankees are going to make a move, is what people are saying. Are they? We're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss it at length. Talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy. John Boy Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, semen, hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy. John Boy Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy. John Boy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. We got producer BBD in the corner, and we will be discussing these items when it comes to the Yankees. Arenado rumors, third base rumors, huh? Gleyber got shit on by Cashman. We'll discuss that. And then they got Matzek, and Jake is here. He was not here for the Tim Hill signing, and Jake looks fabulous. How are you?
James, Davis, everyone tuning in, thank you. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Nice. I'm good, man. Your February 11th reaction, I think a lot of people are going through that. I think the year starts and it's like slow, and then, okay, Super Bowl, you start getting into your yearly routine, and now it's like pitchers and catchers are down there. The beat reporters are down there. Now you're starting to, I think it was 45 days till real baseball games yesterday or something like that. So that would make today 44 if that stat was right.
No shots fired on the Caribbean League. They're having a great time.
No shots fired on the Caribbean League. I was mostly referencing the Yankees. Talking Yanks.
Talking Yanks.
But, yeah, things starting to... And then, like, the final juice is supposed to get squeezed. I know we're leaning some Arenado stuff, but Alex Bregman's involved in that. And then that's, like, done. Like, there's a couple veteran arms that are out there that could sign with teams. It's fun going through those lists and being like, oh, could the Yankees, who could they trick into coming on for a little bit? And it's not going to happen because their pitching's actually pretty good.
Deepest part of the team.
They already got Cookie Carrasco.
Yeah, your guy.
So they're locked up and loaded. There is some hub about
What was that?
hub. There's some going on with Yankees beat reporters. Jack Curry, Meredith said something about like, yeah, they want to make another move, which you would guess. Like, actually, I don't know. Actually,
right.
You know what I mean? Because you could, in previous seasons that they haven't. They've just done this. They could want to make a move, but nothing falls to them in their realm of what they were willing to do, and then they don't. You know, it's not like at all costs. But you have some Arenado stuff started popping up last Friday, because I was deep diving on Arenado last Friday, because that's when I woke up and it was all those articles about how the Cardinals have re-engaged with the Red Sox, Dodgers, and Yankees to try and move Arenado. And someone stole that headline and took out the other two teams and just said Yankees, and then that had Yankees fans like, ooh, and it's like, well, no, hold up. The Red Sox, I think, are the main driver of this.
Yes.
And have been.
I think the Red Sox are going to get Arenado or Bregman. And if Bregman signs with Houston first, I think the Red Sox are going to go get Arenado. If Bregman signs with the Red Sox first, I think the Yankees are going to get Arenado. Or Houston comes back to the Cardinals for Arenado, because he vetoed a trade there because he didn't think they were doing enough to build a winner. Maybe with the signings that the Astros have done, I don't know, they traded away people as well, though. He would go back. So it seems to me those three teams are dancing around these two guys. And I don't know if the Yankees have the most juice. I think the Red Sox are going to determine it. I think because they have the need to spend, they have more prospect capital.
They're pretty determined to get one of those two.
Yeah.
Throw the Cubs in the dance.
Cubs Bregman rumors are in that mix. I think the Red Sox want Arenado. I think the way that they've operated as a franchise, they've started to care more about the business side. I think Nolan Arenado you can get for a decent price, a.k.a. the Cardinals paying some of that, and we're going to talk about some of that in Yankees scope and what that looks like. But you could get Nolan Arenado for 3 years. The Cardinals are going to eat some of the money, depending what that looks like for whichever team, or maybe they're taking some of your money back. And, Jim, you were on this. The Red Sox have a history of pull hitters just tapping in because they play at Fenway Park and the Green Monster's 200 feet out. Nolan Arenado and Alex Bregman, ironically, have two of the bigger pull spray charts you'll see. I think Arenado's is slightly more extreme. Like Bregman has the capabilities. I mean, both these guys have capabilities. We're talking about a lock for the Hall of Fame and another guy who's a borderline Hall of Famer. But Bregman was more so playing to a stadium, where Nolan Arenado, I think he's gotten hurt in a couple of the past years, losing home runs, which, again, that's actually minus points for Yankee Stadium. But for the Boston Red Sox, they can get an all-world defender at third base. They need a right-handed bat in their lineup. And Bregman is still asking for the big contract. That the way the Boston Red Sox have conducted business over the past couple of years, like even think about trading for Garrett Crochet. They'd rather trade assets and get 2 years of affordable Crochet than going out and paying Corbin Burns or something like that. So I think the Red Sox want Arenado with Bregman's current price tag, that is. And I'm just wondering if the Yankees are involved just to kind of be cotton-headed ninny-muggins a little bit.
Ooh.
Because they have third base open, but the team is good. But you have to juggle a lot of money. And then Arenado's offensive profile, like they talked about Bregman, doesn't fit great at the stadium. And now we're going old on the corners again. It's like, didn't we just learn from this?
Yeah. All that stuff, there's a lot of elements to it. There is a report that Bregman has a contract offered already. That he's trying to
I think the 5-year whatever offer from the Astros is like the reports are it's never been taken off the table.
Okay, yeah. So it says Alex Bregman reportedly has a 6-year offer from a club other than the Astros. He's reportedly sitting on a 6-year, $156 offer from the Astros. And he also has a 6-year offer with an opt-out after the first year from another club that may not be high on his list.
Blue Jays. Opt out after the first year? That's the Blue Jays.
It sounds like the Blue Jays. And then Heyman also says the Cubs, Tigers, and Red Sox have been in the mix.
So it's not those teams. So it's the Blue Jays.
Bob Nightingale of USA Today recently appeared on Area 51 with Bijani and Creighton and suggested the Blue Jays might have a 6-year offer out to Bregman.
Wow. I'm starting to read the tea leaves.
Yeah. Okay, so he doesn't want to go to the Blue Jays, but they have a high offer on the table. Damn, that's crazy what's happening to them. Yeah, I think that Boris wants the Red Sox to take if I had to just do the dominoes, I think Boris still wants the Red Sox to be in on Bregman and for that offer. And the Cardinals are saying, we'll just wait till Bregman shakes out because then whoever's left is going to be more desperate.
Probably.
And that's the kind of rhythm we're in right now. The Yankees and Arenado.
I guess the only thing I'd add to that is the Cardinals are in a really weird spot. They haven't signed a single free agent. So if they get the offer of whatever they're looking for, or if a team is just willing to take Nolan Arenado's money, then they would move on it. Because they're not operating like you'd expect the St. Louis Cardinals to operate.
And they haven't traded away their other guys that make money. So they haven't moved off any major salaries yet or made a major addition to their major league roster. So they're in a very odd spot.
Well, he said it's a reset, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said it's a reset year. So they're going to try and get off some money.
A little talking Cardinals. They hired Chaim Bloom to be the GM next year. They have their old GM, Mo Zeliak, sitting in this year, and they're just both there.
So it's just a transfer window?
It's actually kind of cool. They're having Chaim just set up the minor leagues, and they're having
I kind of like that.
So it's kind of nice, but it's just one of those. There's definitely going to be a couple weird meetings for St. Louis this year.
I understand. I kind of like that. If you're resetting or rebuilding, bring the GM to build. Hey, just a year, focus on developing minors because we don't want you to even worry about the product at the major league level. And Mo,
it's either in a couple years,
tank us.
In a couple years, it's really cool, or it's that was a nightmare. It's weird.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I mean, it could
if
be
it
a nice.
works,
If
they
it works,
had
I
a
like
plan.
it. I like that they're trying it. I should say. But for Arenado, yeah, the old on the corners, I don't love. I mean, we went to spring training last year feeling good about the team, and they won the American League.
Yeah.
I have a PSA for the people too after Arenado.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. But someone that we love chatting with said, we were like, what do you think? And they were like, no, we got two 30-year-olds on the corners. You got a 30-year-old backing up a 30-year-old, and they're both starting, and they're both on the corners with DJ and Rizzo. You're like, that's not a formula.
Well, DJ and Rizzo had good years, so.
And then they did back up each other, and then they did both. So that was spot on. Spot on.
2 on. 2 on.
Ended up exactly right.
Yeah. Now, Arenado and Goldie, they play.
Yes.
Like Goldie had one injury year. I don't know if Arenado's had an injury year. He's pretty out there,
and
right?
I think Goldschmidt was a decade ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. Arenado's least games played in a season. Yeah, 111 in 2014. I can ignore that. So it would be
Decade ago.
144 in 23, which that's a full season.
Yeah. So the money on Arenado is interesting. I don't know if we're there yet. So I guess step one is I don't think the ball's in the Yankees' court. I think they have an offer to the Cardinals. They went out and offered a Stroman for Arenado trade at the start of the offseason, according to Mark Feinsand, and the Cardinals said no, and we're not even going to bring this to Arenado, who's got a no trade clause, because they wanted to hear other offers, which is smart by them. Like, it seems like something. And the Yankees,
at that point in the offseason, that was not a real offer.
Seems like the Yankees are saying, hey, we're still around if you want to come back to us. And that's very much there. But I don't think the ball's fully in the Yankees' court here on Arenado or on Arenado stuff.
Yeah, I think they're. I guess I'm a little skeptical on this. I guess they're involved if the trade is very much on their own terms. And it might be a trade that the Cardinals are like, we're never interested in that. Like, okay, so you want us to take Stroman, you want us to eat X amount of dollars, like we'd rather play Nolan till the trade deadline. Like, it's potential the Yankees aren't even in play, or like we said, the beat reporters are oddly on this, that I'm wondering if this is just like a little bit of Boston defense just to get a couple million or a couple prospects out of Boston.
Yeah, but I wonder if the way the beat reporters are on this is more like they're hoping the Cardinals come back to him. Like, but they're not gonna like go reaching for it. But so like, if the question's posed, are they done? No. They're hoping something comes, and they're going to jump at it if it's within reach. I just don't know if it's on their terms. But the money's interesting, because why would the Cardinals want Stroman? They are in a reset year. You need arms just to get games going, and it would still save them a ton of money. So they're on the hook for $64 million, the remaining of Arenado's contract. So if they were to trade and take Stroman and eat his $18 million and like 10 more and say it's $28 million. Well, now you just saved yourself $30-something million.
Right.
So the math does make sense. For the Yankees, they would need them to take Stroman, take the full 18 mil, and take like 20 mil more. Or like, because they want now Arenado's AAV to be what Stroman, like the 18 that Stroman's was, or around there.
Or less.
Or less, yeah. Which means that the Cardinals would have to eat a lot. And then if the Cardinals are eating a lot, they're going to want prospects. And the Yankees don't have like a ton unless they want the prospects like Pereira, Peraza, who don't have options and they just need warm bodies for the next 2 years during the reset, which we've seen before.
Right.
Then it would kind of make sense.
And Passan had an article this morning, and he mentioned that like the Cardinals kind of expect to, I'm paraphrasing, but kind of expect to pay at least half of what Arenado's owed from this point on. So
really, I read that they didn't want to take more than, they didn't want to eat more than 20 mil.
Yeah, that's just what was in the past article. They would, moving Arenado would mean taking on upwards of half the contract.
Well then, Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know, and I don't know what else the Yankees could be in on. If like everyone's saying they want to make a move, the only other thing that I saw was the Marlins might need a warm body, not for a third baseman in return, but for a Stroman trade, because they just might need someone to go out there and eat innings on the rotation.
They're a team that could use that.
Okay.
But I don't know what that does for the Yankees in the infield.
In the trade that Arenado declined to the Astros, the reported figures are that the Cardinals were going to pay it down to $5 or $15 million a year.
Yeah,
the
Astros
are going to pay it way down in that deal.
Astros are eating a lot of money.
Astros were not eating. The Cardinals were taking on. We're paying it down to that number that the Astros would take on.
I guess.
I thought it was the other way. I thought the Cardinals were only going to eat $5 to $15 million. I don't know. I'll look.
Reports indicated that the Astros are going to. Oh, okay. That is a flip.
Yeah, the
Astros were going to take on all. But
Astros are going to take on like all of the money besides.
An article
$5 million.
earlier in the offseason, I heard the other way.
I'm interested to see. I think the next steps for this for me are the Yankees have shown, and we've laughed about it, that a few of our critiques have come through when it was being more athletic, when it was being more lefty. I mean I guess if Nolan Arenado happens, I wouldn't be surprised because everything kind of makes sense. Like, it would be the Cardinals taking Stroman. They would find Stroman innings. Like, they've been hunting for innings the past couple years. Last offseason, they signed Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn to get them through the season. And it would just be the Yankees falling flat on their face defensively that you bring in Arenado. And didn't we say the 3-year timeline? Because in 3 years, DJ's out. Is Stanton done in 3? Like, I don't know. I could see that making sense. I don't know. There's a lot of contradicting ideas in here because at the same time, you think the Yankees would learn from having the old corner infield last year. But also the Yankees love bringing in guys with pedigree. We're bringing in MVPs. We're bringing in Hall of Famer type guys that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a great read on this one. It smells like funny business. It feels like the Yankees won the AL. They're still open for business, and this move has a chance to be really limiting again. Like, think about. I know Nolan's a different level of player than DJ, but as of a couple years ago, they were playing similar brands of baseball, and now DJ we have as like a detriment to the team. That I don't know. I'm not saying Nolan's going to age that way.
I think they're different profiles. Like, everyone, DJ was a singles hitter that got helped out by the juiced ball and was they brought him over as a like journeyman, not in the infield. Arenado would be his defense hasn't gone down.
The defense is still good. I mean,
and the bat is, as far as balance and depth, like the numbers there are awesome, and they haven't really changed a lot. The pop is down last year, but I think you put that in the mix of what we had and it's pretty good.
You'd like to think the 34-year-old version of Nolan Arenado in the middle back half of the Yankees lineup would produce, but the numbers have taken a pretty significant decline the past couple of years as well.
Arenado's?
Yes.
Yeah. From slugging and pop perception, the every day of his bat is so much better than what we have without. It's still such a 260 plus batting average. And then if he can get the slugging up to 400, that's better than everyone that he would be replacing. Like, how many guys on the Yankees had a 600 OPS last year? Verdugo, Cabrera, Volpe, Gleyber, Rizzo, Trevino, DJ, everyone?
Yeah, I'm just a little devil's advocate here. He just turned 33, and his OPS last year was 719.
Yeah.
So if that takes another step down, he's in that bucket you just talked about.
Sure, third best guy on the team last year
Play Waldo.
in those games. Well, Oswaldo's numbers are way worse, even like when he's good. I'd take that in a heartbeat. I mean, I'd be excited
for this season. It makes sense. But
for next
you're
season,
requiring 3 years of the guy, which is where people get concerned.
Sure, you got to get younger at first and everywhere else, and you got to figure that out. It's $15 million on the year in that last year, so I don't think that's anything that they wouldn't. That's not going to hold them up. So it'd be 2-year deal in my brain where
they get it down to a number that's
especially if
cuttable.
Especially
for the Yankees by year 3.
If Cardinals take more money, I'm not worried about that. I don't think anyone's gonna be worried about that third year. But if he goes in the lineup, it's what we talked about. Like we go from top heavy to very spread out.
It's a lot of depth in the lineup.
Like it changes the lineup crazily about just, hey, we have a guy who has a skill set and you have to like navigate him and pitch to him. It's way down the lineup. You get rid of a lot of auto 4-pitch at-bats, 3-pitch at-bats.
Puts less pressure on the kids like Jason Dominguez. We've been having leadoff Dominguez conversations like him and Volpe.
And the defense gets amazing everywhere besides the question mark of left field, which is so.
No, it would obviously be exciting. It's an inner circle Hall of Famer, but there's questions to be asked, and it's what does the final trade look like, and then how does it limit us in future years?
Yeah, I'd be excited about it. I don't know what else is out there besides just staying with internal.
Well, that's the thing. It would be what's going to be available at the deadline. What DJ currently takes up a roster spot.
You got to figure that won't. If they do this, that won't materialize. I don't think DJ is going to be on the bench because what does he offer you off the bench? Absolutely nothing.
We say that now, and then
true, and it could first half they could do it, but down the stretch, come postseason, it's not. I wouldn't imagine that really having an effect. I just don't think it's in their hands. I think the Cardinals are going to wait it out, and the Astros and the Red Sox are going to be in on both these guys, and I don't know if the Yankees can offer as much, and the Yankees need the Cardinals to eat more. The Astros will pay more of the salary, and so will the Red Sox. So I think they're the third team. But I don't know who else is out there at third base if all the beats reporters and people are saying, and there's starting to get noise about they're not done. And
Arenado hasn't approved the Yankees yet, right?
At least on like the reported
he wouldn't
list of teams that he'd approve a trade to.
Yeah.
He wasn't on that list of 6 that came out.
You'll never know. That
Houston wasn't either. So
yeah.
Well, in December there was like Arenado has said he will accept a trade to this group of 6 teams.
Yeah, but he could always change
because he can always change it, and because the Cardinals have reached out, you would think that means they think there's at least a chance he'd say yes.
Yeah,
because it'd be pretty not worth their time to even call if they don't think there's any chance he'd take it, unless it's just leverage against the Red Sox, which it could be.
And then last episode, Jake, I was talking about the bullpen and Stroman, and how I'm not really in a rush to ditch Stroman as much as I see people online and all that. Like, why is Stroman holding us up? Because as far as like needing a 6th pitcher, if you're not going to get someone to come take all his money, someone always gets hurt in spring.
Right.
And he's a pretty good 6th pitcher. Like, I don't think paying that much for that role is great. But if you're not liking the return and teams aren't going to take on money, and it could happen in spring. Like that was my kind of realization. It was like, and my other realization was they're going to do more bullpen moves because we have 6 starting pitchers, and they're not planning on breaking camp with 6 starting pitchers. So there's still room for like one more bullpen move. I don't think they're going to now with Hill and Matzek, but that was my kind of revelation last episode when I was looking at the fan graphs of the starting pitching and relievers.
Yeah, and we've done a little bit on the Stroman, like the. I kind of like Marcus Stroman with a good defense behind him. And I wonder what he looks back at last year and truly thinks like his walk rate wasn't great, and he got hit a decent amount. And we saw there was some games where the stuff you were just like, wait, this isn't. It's borderline competitive. But there's also a highlight reel of him getting the least amount of help from a defense you could possibly get. So Marcus Stroman is a fine insurance policy. Like, he threw in a down year last year, he threw 154 innings to a 4.31 ERA. There's obviously highs and lows to that, but yeah, it's the part that's tough is that baseball is all about the upside potential, and that's why like Frankie Montas got the big contract from the Mets. That Stroman doesn't have that anymore. Like, you're throwing him out there and you're kind of hoping they hit it at people, which baseball's gone far away from that. But no, as a current asset on the roster, yeah, we're the first bad spring training update for Marcus Stroman being in the rotation.
When did the shift rules happen? Before 2023?
I think before 2023.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Well, 2023, he had a batting average against on ground balls of 174, which is good. Last year, he had a batting average against of ground balls 280, and he had some of the best worst defense on the right side.
And he had some of the best defense in Chicago.
Yeah. Expected batting average was 268 and then 280. So the expected went up as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, in 2022 and 2023, the batting average on ground balls was very low, 170, 174. Probably a product of Cubbies.
Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner,
Yeah.
both Gold Gloves.
But last year
Cody.
is his highest. 280 is the highest he's ever had as a batting average against on ground balls. So I still, obviously, if the right move comes, if you need to shed money to use it elsewhere, there's better areas to distribute the 18 mil that go into Stroman. But I'm not in a rush for them to do it because, fuck, pitchers and catchers can report in 3 days, and we're gonna get usually a press conference soon that lets you know someone's coming into camp injured or shot.
And today's the Yankee report day, so by the time this is out, we might have one of those.
Tyro.
Damn, Bullet Estrada.
Yeah, and I am interested to see. Again, this is digging deep a little bit, but if there were a Stroman trade, guys that are currently free agents, your guy Heaney Dog, Pavetta's still out there. That's kind of crazy. But I think guys more in the Yankees flight zone of either a little bit of money or even invite to camp, and Gio Gonzalez will pay you. Patrick Corbin, former Yankee, still out there. Chris Flexen, weren't they kind of interested in him a couple years ago? Lance Lynn.
Closer now.
The reunion. Ross Stripling, another friend of yours.
Chicken strips.
Jacob Junis, Spencer Turnbull, Cal Quantrill, John Means. Oh, the Yankees. Yankees love John Means. So, yeah, I guess I'd feel a lot better if the Yankees could get one of these guys in the building, even just as the insurance.
You don't, Cookie's not enough?
Cookie was bad. Cookie was bad. Cool guy to have at camp.
Yeah. How about Gibby?
How about Gibby?
Kershaw.
Okay.
No.
Be some good fodder.
Alex Wood. I mean, none of these really move needles anywhere.
They don't move, but they'd make us feel a little better if Stroman got traded.
I mean, Lance Lynn, bullpen arm. He's a reliever
Former
now.
Yankee.
A reliever now. Should have brought him back instead of Hap. They've done that twice. I compare it to Bartolo Colon and Freddie Garcia, and they bet wrong. They had two guys that fountain of youth in their old age on the Yankees, and they bet on Garcia, re-signed him, did not re-sign Bart, and they were wrong. Not that Lance Lynn really proved him right elsewhere, but I think
I guess over
that's just
those
personal
3
opinion.
years, he was still good.
Yeah, maybe he was. I forget.
He had like one real good year. I forget if it started getting bad in year 3 of that deal.
Yeah, he had
but
3 straight,
real good years.
19, 20, 21. Lance Lynn was good.
Marco Gonzalez.
Exactly.
He'll come over.
Why not?
Clevenger. Jose Urquidy.
Mm.
Get some secrets. No. They didn't even invite these guys to camp, so I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
Yet, but
These guys aren't anywhere.
they're not
That's what I'm
anywhere,
saying.
but the camp is starting.
Another
Right.
week goes by
I think-
and nobody else
think
bites.
They did Cookie Carrasco on this. Otherwise, they got to go to their own camps and figure it out. And then once you miss spring, it's as a starting pitcher, it's you very rarely are they effective.
Yeah, you'd think you'd want to do one of these in the next week, maybe two, or else it's getting nervous.
Well, in other news, Cashman just came out and just honestly let people know his feelings about Gleyber. Kind of. I eat Factor a lot. I enjoy it. Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating, well, easy. I enjoy Factor because I don't have to decide things. I grab it, I heat it up. It's delicious. It fills my belly.
Heat it up.
Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. 40 different options, 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week. It's easy to pick meals tailored to what you want to do. Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, they got you. They can also help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and more. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Yanks50 off. And use code YANKS50 off, all lowercase. The 50 is the numbers. 50% off your first box of plus free shipping. That's code YANKS50 off at factormeals.com/Yanks50 off to get 50% off free shipping. So we have the soundbite. I don't know if we're going to throw to an ad first. Maybe not.
When I acquired Jazz to be our second baseman and move Gleyber to third the rest of last year. Booney wanted to do it the other way. He moved Jazz to third after we got him, and Gleyber to second, and kept Gleyber at second because Gleyber didn't want to move to third and was unwilling, and so Jazz wound up getting baptized in a position he never had played it well enough, and now gives us a little bit more flexibility entering the 25 year. I don't know how it's going to play out. I do think we can have one of these candidates emerge, or multiple guys emerge into a platoon situation at worst, or a solo shot at best, and if not, there's always the marketplace to play around with as we move forward.
And then do you have the Jazz? The Jazz one? Because I think back to back they're fun.
You're recording music.
Wait, pause it 1 second.
I'm excited about.
For those that
What do you need to explain?
I just want to give credit to the show. For those that are listening only on audio, this is from the Absolutely Ridiculous Show, episode 1. Jazz was on it. Just to make sure we're not
Anonymous.
The lead-in
host.
is they asked him what he's excited about for this season.
on and off the field. Yeah.
About really like my music more than anything, like off the field at least. On the field, I feel like it's going to be a great year. It's going to be an all-star year, Silver Slugger. I'm back at my old position. I feel super comfortable at my position. I feel like I could just wake up and do it every day, It even gives me a little bit more confidence hitting wise, just knowing that I'm about to go play second base every day and play for the Yankees, play second base, hitting the same part of the lineup every day, play the same position every day, go to Yankee Stadium every day, see those fans. It's really exciting for me, especially on the field. Off the field, I'm really excited.
Okay, so I don't know if that's Jazz repeating what he's been told,
Right.
if that's Jazz lobbying, a little judge, as long as it's DJ, Soto, me in the top 3-esque, or what it is. But it's clear that he is announcing, I want to play second base, and I want to be the everyday second baseman. Those are his feelings. I love Jazz that he moved to third. 0 career innings at third base in the pros or minors for Jazz, and he went there. Gleyber had 170-something innings at third base in the minor leagues because the Yankees were going to call him up as a third baseman in 2017, but they needed to get Tommy John. And Cashman just straight up says, well, my intention was to put Jazz at second and move Gleyber to third. My guess would be because Gleyber rated out as the 30th worst second baseman in the league. Right. And without good defense at first, the Yankees were the 30th worst defense on the right side of the infield. And if you move Gleyber to third, at least you're strong up the middle, which is what Stick Michael and the Yankees have always believed in, to be strong up the middle. Gleyber refused. Boone allowed such refusal. And that's how it played out, which we kind of knew, but just to hear Cashman come out and say it.
Still question mark? Sleepy emoji. Just turn the page. That's what Gleyber said. Yeah, I don't. This kind of gets me hot because it's Yankees ineptitude. I mean, it goes back to Gleyber should have played third base at the majors at any point. At some point, you should have done that. When shortstop failed, maybe that should have been whoa. But we need to figure out a plan. Like, you're complimenting Jazz for his ability to be versatile. Why don't you guys look at more players that way? Like the whole Judge left field conversation, and even remember Judge begging to play center field before he has for the past couple years. So I don't know. It's this weird. The Yankees obviously want to empower their players, but I don't know. It's also we went to the World Series. We lost with bad defense. Okay. So how'd the conversation go? Cashman said, "Hey, Booney, we just traded for Jazz Chisholm. I want him to be our second baseman." Booney said, "Okay." Gleyber, "Hey, Gleyber, we're going to have you move to third. We just got Jazz Chisholm. He's going to play second base." Gleyber says, "No, I play second base." Okay. Like, that was how crazy does that convo get? Because Gleyber Torres is in a contract year that, okay, if they said, "Hey, well, Jazz is here tomorrow. He's playing second base. It's either you or Oswaldo at third. Do you want to play or not?" Like, I don't feel like the conversation got to that point.
Well, I think what happens is that Booney's feel for the players and how he does things is he wants people to feel good about what they're doing and confident. So he goes to Gleyber, and Gleyber's like, "I don't want to play third," and just gets like that scared Gleyber look. And then he goes to Jazz and he says, hey, Jazz, how would you feel? And Jazz is like, "Sure, I'll do anything. Like, I feel great anywhere." And then Boone says, "Hey, I think, the best confidence or like positive mindset moving forward, least amount of feathers ruffled, is if we go with Jazz at third and Gleyber at second," which isn't like a good way to get the team set up for success. One response to the tweet when I was tweeting about this that cracked me up was, so they get fined if they grow a beard, but they get to dictate where they play when they're the 30th worst defender in the league and going to be off the team next season. If he grows a beard, he's going to get fined, but you won't have the backbone to move him. Like, that's, like you're saying, it's Yankees in of itself. There's too many people making decisions, right? Now you have, in that one sentence, Cashman, Boone, and Gleyber all had a say.
Right.
That's too many people making decisions, which we've seen over the last couple of years where like things don't seem to happen with a blanket feeling. And then it's poor roster construction, which we've been dealing with since 2020 okay, well, I mean, you're kind of in this mess because of what you guys did. Like you're saying, you didn't move people around. You just got stuck. And then it's also like on Gleyber, you just, come on. So, I mean, the Nationals offered him more money to play third, and he took less and to play second with the Tigers. So it's clear like this isn't just a Yankee thing. But yeah, it's frustrating to hear that, especially when you think back to Game 1 of the World Series when Soto to Gleyber. Like, they had the weakest right side, and Cash knows that. There's a whole Yankee way philosophy of balancing out your weak defense, and they did not have that last year. It was all on the right side. So sounds like Jazz is going to be second baseman. They traded for him to be second baseman. Jazz says, "I want to be the second baseman."
Seems like Jazz is going to be the second baseman.
If they trade for Rougned or Odor and he says, "No, I only want to play second," maybe Booney's like, "Okay, he's our second baseman." But that seems like that can happen. Crazy.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. Both parties should be frustrated, but I think the Yankees are walking away like, yeah, I mean, Gleyber was he played emotional and he wasn't willing to do it. And don't get me wrong, there is a side to the argument that is like, well, Booney, if Booney was here, he'd probably say, well, did you like the way Gleyber led off in the postseason? Because nobody else could hit like that.
And if he
we
went to third, we would have lost that.
Yeah, he just would have been sad puppy dog. And now, okay, do we lose to the Guardians? Do we lose to the Royals? So there are other sides to it, but I think it's funny for the Yankees to be salty, but they are a large percentage of the reason they got themselves in that position. So, yeah, it's just frustrating because, yeah, should you be a little mad at Gleyber? Because, you know, for anyone that watches team sports, the way Jazz did it is the dream. You know, Jazz had this, he was so happy to be a Yankee. Yes, I'll play third base. I don't care. Where Gleyber, I mean, let's be honest, he was weighing other stuff. Like, wait, I've got 2 more months before I hit free agency for the first time, and I'm going to be playing third base at the bigs for the, like, I partially get Gleyber being like, kind of no.
Saying he doesn't want to.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
But, dude, it's also...
Could you just please ask Jazz if he'll play? Jazz is hype. Okay.
We can move forward because I want to move forward, and I have my PSA to get to, too.
Right.
But Booney came in. He's a player's first manager. He's always going to take the fall for his players. He's always going to say something crazy in the postgame because he wants the heat on him and not his players. That's by design. So he'll say something, and if everyone's mad at him and not mad at DJ for not running it out, they're mad at Boone's ridiculous excuse. It's exactly what Boone wants. And that's all well and good. I think there's a lot of value to having a manager who's going to do that for the players. My issue is it seems, obviously we're not in the room and we don't know everything, but our complaints about Gleyber and his lack of focus and then never getting like seemingly corrected or like pushed, like he was managed softly from the time he was a 19-year-old until he got benched last year for 6 years. He was like managed like he had a say in things, and that like they like pandered, and not just him, maybe a lot of the rookies, but and then when he comes out and does, so it just like they made that bed, they built him to be. They could have tried to curb his like sass
because
early.
They do this.
Yeah,
they're all in on you, or you're not all in.
Yeah.
Judge, all in. Good. Things have gone well there. Gleyber, they let him all in. Here's the keys to the kingdom. You're the starting shortstop. You're the future of the Yankees. Things fell apart. Like Volpe, we've seen the way they treat him.
Yeah, he's all in.
Like Dominguez getting number 24 was one of my biggest moves of the Yankees offseason. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to make him go out there and wear 87?
Well, what was he wearing?
He was 89 in his previous big league stints.
I think that tracks. They always offer them, if they're invited to big league camp as a big leaguer, a new number.
Right.
What was
Peraza gotten the offer?
Peraza's been at 91 for a while.
Peraza probably would have got it if he made the team. What was Volpe playing as in the spring training?
So he was 77 and he changed
to 11
once he got on opening day.
Yeah, once he got the.
But he's in camp as an NRI. That like he wasn't on the 40 man yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Once they know you're going to be on the team, you get that offer. Oswaldo Cabrera turned it down, which is cool.
This year, right?
Last spring.
Last year. Yeah. So he gets called up. You don't get a low number, and then when you're in spring the next year, you get the offer. And Oswaldo said, "Nah."
Peraza, we don't know.
Probably didn't because he was never like, "You're going to be on the team."
It was on the 40 man, so I guess I wonder where the line is. I guess being like part of the team.
Yeah. Our guy on Hot Stove. Why am I blanking on his name? I apologize.
What are you talking about?
Bob?
No.
Harold Reynolds? Vescursian?
God damn it. Emmanuel Barbari.
Okay.
Oh.
He said, for this to come out of his mouth on television, he does not like Gleyber Torres.
Yes.
And we've been saying that forever. Like Gleyber's the only player that's been getting this treatment. We have no idea if it's fair or not fair, but it's just it's true that they have had a lot of issues with Gleyber, and they're just now kind of like talking about it. Only got to get benched, and Cashman throws him under the bus.
Only guy in any sort of recent memory that like got any degree of shit talked while on the team.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they had bad defense at second base last year.
Really bad.
That was still the best presser.
It was crazy.
The other positions, a lot of guys played. Second base, only one cat.
Yeah. It was really bad.
Yeah.
His dad hasn't DM'd me yet, so that's good.
Okay.
That's a relationship that's now not part of my life anymore.
Damn.
Yeah. I was showing someone that, and they're like, this goes back to 2018. I was like, yeah.
Feels like an annual
He might
check-in.
get involved.
Spanish DMs, and then would translate it for me.
That was nice of him.
Yeah. Maybe he realized I didn't speak Spanish.
I'll tell you what. Mark this down as a potential dirty look back. Season rolls on. Tigers have a weird year. Trade deadline comes up. Yankees need a little hitting. I don't know.
I'll just quote this one.
Just a little game of chicken. Gleyber and the Yankees back at it again at the deadline.
And then he would be out at home for trying to run from first, and you also criticize him. Ha, 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 ha. You're a joke. Get your Hater Torres shirt made.
Did you ever get that?
I didn't. I didn't respond to that one
Yeah.
because it seemed like he was really mad.
Didn't feel like it required response. He sort of mic dropped you.
Yeah, when he first reached out, I didn't realize it was him, and I just responded like it was just a random dude on
Right.
Twitter, and it's very funny to read me not knowing
Those
the
like
context.
first two replies.
And just he's like, if you don't play, you don't know. And I was just like, don't have to play the game to know that he allowed to run a score. Don't have to play the game to know that he allowed a run to score by not stopping that ball? ? I read that back now, and I'm like, oh shit. So that's fun. Volpe's dad's never reached out. That's nice.
We kind of want to, right? He's WFA and Yankee fan. That's like our sweet spot.
I know. I think I'd
feel like it would be a good reach
I'd
out.
love chatting with him. And Volpe's gonna have a great year. So that brings us me to my PSA. After this.
Today's episode is sponsored by Mando, the whole body deodorant that's changing the game. As someone who's tried it, I can tell you this stuff works everywhere. Pits, thighs, and yes, even those awkward spots. Created by a doctor, that's good, who saw how BO was being misdiagnosed. Mando is clinically proven to control odor all day long for up to 72 hours. Their aluminum-free formula is powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts, and you can choose from awesome scents like bourbon leather or clover woods. Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping as a special offer for listeners. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off the starter pack with code TalkinYanks at shopmando.com. Shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
I hate myself, and I don't hate myself. Let me start over. I recently watched Game 7 documentary on Apple or Prime. I don't know. It's a whole series about documentaries about Game 7. Did they reach out for us to be in it? There was no fans in it. We did one meeting. I think
Boston one.
No, I think it was this one too. Whatever. It's Amazon Prime. First episode is about 2003 Game 7. And I was watching it with, Katie was watching. And she was like, whoa, this is getting me excited for baseball. So my PSA is, one, go watch it. It's really fun. Especially right now when baseball is not really part of your life before spring starts. Because it did get me, like, right now we're in the deepest hole of not baseball. That I was like, oh, I really missed it. Just watching that documentary and like the Yankees feelings in 2003 and just seeing all the game itself. Right. I was just really excited about it. And then the other part of me when watching this was I hate how I am a fan right now. And I don't know if I'm a product of the Yankees losing or a product of this is also our job and we're a little closer to the industry and we're trying to see the full picture of the math and the roster construction for our audience. But part of me was very jealous of the 14-year-old fan in 2003 that just thought the players were good. You know, when we were in the World Series booth and that little kid was with us and he was crying when they lost because he just didn't know that was possible. And just that innocence of like, this is my team.
Right.
Like, no, I know the Yankees are good, Dad.
Right.
No, what are you talking about? No, Posada's one of the best defenders, like, and just blind, like, loyalty before kind of like stat immersion, business immersion, payroll immersion in your brain. I don't know if I can like rid it, especially because we sit here and we have to discuss everything at length now. That's part of the gig, which I obviously love and it's great. But yeah, it was part of me was watching it like, fuck, I wish I could be 12 again and just root for the team and just like be very, like, I wish I was sitting here and the only feeling I had was just pure excitement about the team and the Yankees being phenomenal. And I have a lot of that and I will dig into that. But for the offseason right now, as we sit and talk twice a week, you're digging for things to discuss, like Arenado. Well, here's the money. Well, will this hamper them in future years? Well, what's the wrong relief? Like, it's all these other thoughts. And that documentary was a little bit like, fuck, I wish I just was like, go Yanks.
Yeah, that's age a little bit. I mean, you know, age 34 Bernie Williams on that team with 1 WAR in 119 games. You think I gave a fuck? No, I want to watch my dad hit.
Age, and they were really good. Like, Dodgers fans right now are just excited.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the other thing.
I like that they lost the way they did because I think it's going to lead to changes defensively in the World Series. I hate that I feel like I can't celebrate, you know, what they did. Like, Joe's was wearing like a AL champ shirt, and the comments were just like, take that shit off. And I'm like, because I wore one out of my closet last night, and I was like, but it was like they did fucking.
If they lost,
went to the World Series.
It's almost like you need more time. Like I bought the 2024 World Series logo hat with Joe's, and we laughed for a while because we were like, oh, not wearing that. And Joe's busted out, and I was like, oh, are we back? And I think he was just wearing a hat. But I don't know. Like, I think you almost need to get further away from it to be like, whoa, that was the Yankees' first World Series trip in a while. Like, you need more range on both sides.
Well, because I was watching the doc and I was like looking at the crowd and I was like, my dad was at this game.
Right.
Like, this is crazy. Look at telling Katie and stuff. And then I'm like, but we were at Game 5, and when Judge hit the homer and they scored big early, it was similar. Like, it was going, the place was going nuts. And I was like, well, I was there. But my only memory is, and then the collapse, which is the way sports works.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
And the only other thing I tell you, I'm thinking of writing my paper on it for grad school that I'm not going to, and I'm not going to write. But
go to grad school.
Analytics kind of ruining sports. Because like sports used to just do stuff and be like, I think this will work, and now that's all out. Yeah, like, dude, NBA is pretty wild to watch, because like guys aren't allowed to do bad things or different things. Like, every play has the right move. Like, pass it here, pass it there, take that shot. Yeah, instead of like funk. Yeah, and baseball and football are the same way too. So it's one of those weird things that we go. 10 years ago in the NBA, they just figured out the 3-point shot was better. And that, you know, we do stuff with that with baseball all the time and all the sports that now there's so much information, you almost can't have guys make disaster moves or try something so willy-nilly that it might work. But yeah.
That is true. Because I like knowing stuff. I like analytics. But as far as it's just the balance of leagues having to correct rules is that scale is so much it has to be tinkered with every year. Like, they just changed the rule that you can't run past second base and treat it like first base. And yes, that's a great instant connection. I don't know if you guys talked about it in Talking Baseball, but That was bad. Like, you watch that and you're like, okay, I understand how this gains an advantage, but the league should tell them no because that's stupid.
No need for
and it's dumb and it's not part of the game.
Yeah.
But because of the analytics, so you almost get people trying things, but they're like not in the spirit of what you want. So then the rules have to curtail it constantly. Right. Yeah. NFL's crazy with the, I know it's a big storyline and we're doing Talkin' Yanks. But as I tune into the football game, the flags just fucking drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Like, crazy. Baseball only has the strike zone, which gets so much more guff.
Right.
On a surface level. Like, I'll hear, like, baseball fan or basketball fans and football fans, other sports fans on, like, Twitter, and they're like, what a ridiculous thing. This, like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, hold up. As far as officiating goes, we kind of have the most sound. Maybe hockey. Football's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Every play, there could be a whistle or not. You can't celebrate the play anymore. You just have to wait. The announcers just have to, they don't even tell you what happened. They have to wait. Almost every play in the Super Bowl in the first quarter was like, well, okay, wait, hold on. It took the whole excitement out of just cheering right away. So baseball's doing pretty well in that regard.
Right.
Like, ultimately, like, very few games feel like they were truly altered by like a bad zone.
We were looking at a zone by
game's
ump
happened.
status.
I'd say we get 3 a year. That we're doing a Talkin' Yanks recap, and we're just like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, and you have strike zone stuff for sure, but they're aging them out. We were on the ump sheet and looking at the best umps. I didn't know 3 of their names, and then you look at the worst umps and all their names, and they're all old. It's literally just age. It just got age.
Your eyes get worse.
Yeah, and the zone changes.
2 years ago that it was, or last year that it was like, there's a ton of new umps this year, and they were like kind of all awesome.
2 years ago, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Scorecards, which isn't 100% data, but the best ump over the last 2 years is a name that I did not know. I wonder, and I do a lot of breakdowns where you have to like know them.
You're somebody who like learns the umps for the most part.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. Correct call. They have all these fucking weird datas points, like X accuracy and accuracy. It's kind of odd.
Oh.
Yeah. Because this isn't the name that I was thinking of. But the worst umps. Okay, Derek Thomas, Will Little, Alex Tosi. I didn't know that name. He's been one of the best umps the last 2 years.
Okay.
So shout out to Alex Tosi.
Tosi.
I looked up his face and I didn't even really recognize him. Because Hoberg, he was up there. No, he's not. Quinn Walcott. Alan Porter, I know because he's kind of sassy.
Yep.
Adam Hamari, he ejected Boone once. He's good. And Derek Thomas. So just some. But yeah, if you sort it the other way, like worst accuracy umps, that guy, yeah.
That's your guy, Tosi.
Yeah. If you sort it by the worst umps over the last 2 years, CB Buckner.
Yep.
Larry Vanover.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Hernandez.
Yep.
Hunter Wendelstadt.
Mm-hmm.
Laz Diaz.
Yep.
Ron Colpa.
Mm-hmm.
Alfonso Marquez.
Yeah.
Rob Drake.
Sure.
Doug Eddings.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Onora.
Yeah.
You know that name?
Yeah.
Scott Barry.
I don't know Scott Barry.
Me neither. He only did half a season. Paul Emmel, he only did 9 games. So anyone that did substantial games, you knew all their names.
Right.
It's crazy. It's just an age thing.
Tough.
You just got to age them out. Union's too strong or something. I'm not anti-union.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
fucking
We're
come
getting
for me.
tricky. This is age.
Oh,
this is union.
that's crazy.
unions in
That's
general.
crazy. Don't fucking do it. Losers. Damn. Now they're going to do it. Anyway. Watch the doc. It's good. Oh, I want to show you. They have footage of Boone when he's in high school.
Oh, wow.
And talking. High schooler Boone getting interviewed, and you're just going to love his voice, I think.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to show you
I
that.
like that.
Be out of sight when the timing was right. Being the son of a professional athlete, is there anything tough about it?
I think sometimes kids have trouble, put too much pressure on themselves. If they're expected to do something, I think they have trouble, but I've never really felt any pressure like that. After my junior year,
Yo, isn't that nuts? That voice is crazy.
That's crazy voice. He's kind of
voice
about
out of
it though.
young
Like I respect it.
Yeah.
Like there is no nerves in it.
No.
This is my voice.
And then the other shot I want to share, if I can find it, they have Cashman celebrating in the clubhouse after, and he lets out such a
Oh yeah.
I
Nerdy Cashman days.
Yeah, I saw it, and I just thought about you and Joe's and laughing.
Get the me and Jazz side by side too, BBD. We'll really end it with an optics this episode.
Yeah, let me see. I'm going to pull this up. Might take a second. Don't watch the last 10 minutes of Doc. They talk about 04.
And there's no need for that.
There's no need for an epilogue.
Or an EpiPen.
Oh, here it is.
Let's go.
Looks great.
Shout out to my guy. A thrifted temple. That's where you can get this.
Maybe you just got Jazz's other halves.
Right?
Imagine.
Should we trade jackets back? No, I think it is flipped. Because that's his left.
Yeah, it looks like you got each other's halves. Right?
Yeah. Because you can read all the words, so that's not a flipped image. Okay, there it is.
Heard the yell.
It's really good. You have to watch a little bit because it's like only 10-second rewind. And
That's fine.
George Sherman.
They say those things that hurt you the most make you stronger. If that's the case, then Boston fans are superhuman.
It was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Woohoo, Nelly!
I thought it'd be a little dorkier. That was good.
Not a baby Nelly! I love it. Yeah, it wasn't. And I think it's Nelson who walks by. Is he on the team then? Is he just around?
I know there is
03?
like a he comes back here, right?
Jeff
I think
Nelson.
he's saying Nelly.
You'd like Nelson.
Yeah, it's Jeff Nelson. Because he walks by him, he's tall as shit, and he's bald.
Yeah, and that's always
Spraying with his left hand.
03 traded back for him.
Hell yeah.
At a baby Nelly! All right, Matzek.
Oh yes.
Thoughts? 5 words or less?
There's no MLB. If you make the team, you make more money stuff, right?
I haven't seen that number out there. That's usually the case, but it just hasn't been reported to my knowledge. The Yankees did just announce that they invited him to spring training, but they signed Matzek to a minor league deal.
Yeah.
Another lefty in the pen. Kind of like has wild numbers, strikeout numbers, kind of what you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he is now 34. It's been, 3 years since he's been effective in the majors. Yeah, hey, again, I'll never shy away from any of the veterans at camp. This was making me laugh yesterday. I feel like it was 2 years ago. Was it Hamilton or was it Litke that there was someone at camp that we were like, hey, this guy's throwing innings and he looks good. And then like one day the Yankees quotes around him changed, that they were just like, he's on the team.
Was it Jimmy, the Jimmy guy?
Cordero.
Jimmy Cordero?
Cordero, maybe. Cordero, wow. It was just funny. He was like, we were doing Talkin Yanks spring training, like, hey, this guy's throwing
I
innings.
remember who you're talking
He
about.
looks pretty good. And then
My
like
gut said
Boone-
Hamilton.
Boone and Cash's quotes just changed so quickly that it's like, yeah, he's
Somebody made a decision.
yes.
Who was it? Jimmy Cordero, I think it might have been. Because we had a list of a bunch of players. I think it was Cordero. because Cordero showcased nasty stuff this spring.
It was a bullpen guy who had MLB experience that, again, like I guess that's my what to watch for with Matzek, because there's going to be like, yeah, Tyler's throwing the ball. Well, like you're going to hear all of that. And then there will be a day in probably mid-March where it's like, we think, we could have another lefty back there. We like Tyler or something like that.
There was a bunch of relievers the year you're talking about that, because we were going through a list of like 5, and then they basically said, no, this is. Yeah, I'm trying to remember too. I'm trying to look at games by relievers here that it might have been. Not Castro. We knew he was on the team.
Yeah, Hamilton and Cordero all hit buzzwords a little bit for me. Maybe it was them.
Banda, McKay, Luke Bard.
Oh, Nick Ramirez.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm looking at 2023 now. James Norwood, I was into him. Matt Bowman.
Yeah.
I think it was Cordero, is my guess. Matt Crook. I remember, because I was calling Jimmy Norwood, saying the 2 Jimmys, Jimmy Cordero, Jimmy Norwood, if I remember my dumb brain.
It feels like something that would have been said on this show.
Tanner Tully.
The House Tully.
Yeah. All right. See if anything else happens. Otherwise, we're going to start getting like reports from spring and all that, so that's cool.
I think
hopefully
Boone's doing
no
a
injuries.
presser at 1.
Boone. Was it Nick Birdie?
No.
That was last year.
Yeah. I think Hamilton or Cordero I can lock in.
All right. Well, love you guys. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Go Yankees.
Rams.